As you know that SCF is working with a split six, and as we were discussing earlier, that SCF's goal is not only defining the split six interface. By the way, let me kind of give you a snapshot of what SCF has done till date on 5G. So SCF split six is covering three different segments of it. One is defining your standard FAPI for 5G, and there are two versions already released. Version 3 is going to be released in coming few weeks. Similarly, we are also working into the RF FAPI, where a lot of beamforming and other related aspects are going to be covered with the reference design and blueprint. So that is another piece where we are really doing good, and we are expecting that in few week time frame. The first version of that specification will also go forward. The third, last but not the least, and very important, is your network FAPI. So network FAPI, we released your 5G NFAPI specification 1.0 last quarter, and this quarter, probably in few weeks, we are very positive to release the second version of NFAPI, which is released kind of 16 compliant, and I have to check about 17, but I think 16, all up to 16, it is covered. So in that way, I'm feeling very happy about putting the specification in place, and multiple companies collaborated there. There were some of the public summits last week where kind of Qualcomm was a great contributor over there. I can see that Picocom and multiple others, Radis, Geo, there are multiple companies cooperated to bring NFAPI, Network FAPI 2.0, whereas FAPI side, Intel had a great contribution there, and that piece is in place. So I'm also seeing all three things. We need to put it into a test framework. So I'm also seeing multiple companies are also working there, Keysight and other. So I'm seeing, and these things are in a public domain where kind of everybody presented and updated the world how kind of SCF is taking care of building this whole, you can say, Open 6 framework for the customization, productization, and deployment for the network. So that's all about what SCF is doing, and definitely we are kind of bringing another work group. This is a new work group, which is, we can say, umbrella work group, where multiple of these initiatives will be considered and worked upon under a single framework, where cloud assets, components, and small cell ecosystems, your Wi-Fi and you can say 5G convergence, a lot of industry automation use cases, smart city use cases, lot of them IoT use cases will all bring it under a single umbrella, where we can all focus on with multiple work groups, and we can take it forward in terms of frameworks, packaging, blueprints, and deployment level. So that is what kind of SCF is doing, and then I would like to kind of also focus a little bit about how we are seeing a service case or the specific use cases or business case directly engage with it. In last couple of months, we are also focusing into taking at least 2 or 3 major use cases where all what we are doing, they all are packaged under a single blueprint or a framework. And some of those are, you can say, automotive, private networks, and ports. These are some of them. And of course, I think last week also we had, or last month also we had a good presentation together with automotive industry, what we wanted to do. And over there, as we know that basically there are 4 different stakeholders in automotive if we choose automotive industry. One is the car companies or all the vendors who are providing the auto-connected car infrastructure. That is one segment. Other segment is the infrastructure, 5G infrastructure vendors, like whether it is MNOs or PNOs or neutral hosts. The third piece is your, you can say, smart city, or you can say county transport signaling infrastructure. And the fourth piece is your hyperscalers. And until and unless all these four pieces come together, build a single infrastructure framework, which needs to be multi-tenant and cost-sharing module, so that each one is taking care of their segment. Then I'm sure that this will build a unique convergence of a framework for automotive, where it is not only taking care of your car or automotive CV2X kind of requirements, but it is also taking care of your infotainment requirement. It is also taking care of your cost-effective infrastructure, where your roadside units and your small cells or macro kind of base stations for 5G, they all come together as a single box solution, or maybe coordinating with a multiple box solutions, working with you can say county and smart city software modules or transport modules, maybe sitting at a same edge pod, or maybe at a higher level of aggregation data centers, so that you can really build a cohesive network where all these services can be launched without worrying about how my auto connectivity infrastructure will go, how the interoperability and information exchange between my telco, MNOs, PNOs to a county and my hyperscaler will go to provide the support for that. And I'm seeing even one step further, where even your edge or far edge or metro edge is going forward and going towards even the vessels or your vehicles, where you can have a full-fledged module sitting inside the car itself, where all these stakeholders are splitting their applications, infrastructures, platforms in such a way that the cost, what you are paying for a car, where a lot of compute and other things are being kind of stationed there and adding a lot of, you can say, the cost to the car. In that way, I'm seeing that part can be offloaded to the edge, distributed across the infrastructure, the MNO or PNO or neutral host with hyperscaler can build. So there are multiple modules. You can shrink the edge, you can distribute the edge based on the kind of requirements you have. I'm also seeing, since if you're talking about auto-connected software-defined cars, are projected 1 gigabits of data kind of producing every second. So in that case, whether it is data residency or data sovereignty in terms of local to the car compared to going to a telco or automotive domains, wherever the data belong to, those things, there is a lot of work needed. There are a lot of interfaces needed to define how the smart cities will be talking to MNO or neutral host or the hyperscalers, or how it will coordinate to the automotive modules in the car. So there are a lot of things need to be done, but now I'm seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, where multiple of these pieces are coming together. And I'm sure that in automotive, 5G is doing a great work defining all what is needed from a vessel or from a car, software-defined car side. But I'm sure that will also evolve with time. I'm also expecting that software-defined car, in true sense, with a centralized, you can say, electronic control unit, can be a reality in probably in 2-3 years down the line, and can be. But I think opening the different auto-connected car corridors across is also equally important, where the government, regulators, and infrastructure vendors need to take initiatives. MNOs also need to come forward to integrate 5.9 gigahertz spectrum, which is 30 megahertz, is available over there from the CV2X side, as well as kind of integrating it with your sub-6 and build a single small cell or a micro cell to cater both worlds and bring the cost down and add a lot of variety and value add to the infrastructure they build together. I think this is how I can see that thing is evolving. I will also go to a private network initiative where I can see CBRS is another area which is kind of really kind of getting a lot of traction, especially to the automotive as well as manufacturing, especially Industry 4.0. And OnGo is the de facto kind of, you can say, initiative or the platform there. But I can see that when you move from incumbent to PAL to GAA, I'm seeing a lot of possibilities where general authorized kind of access, you can say spectrum 80 megahertz, at least if it is available, if that is really getting utilized and really coordinated with the SAS, along with the PAL licensees as well as the incumbents. I'm seeing a lot of value, especially within America. And I was kind of, today itself, I was in a seminar where I have been told that near about 15 to 20 countries are seriously working in that environment to give the spectrum. I think entire North and South America is working into sub 6 gigahertz, but I'm also seeing some of the countries in Japan and Korea and others. They are also kind of considering millimeter wave range also. So I'm seeing, especially for manufacturing, robotics, and 24/7 connected humans. So a lot of those immersive experience. I'm seeing that millimeter wave has got a big role to play along with sub-6. So I think, and a small cell forum is very serious about, you can say, private network frameworks and fabric. So we will also do our side, and we'll make sure that anything which can take the small cell and integrate it with Industry 4.0 or the robotics section of it, or like in future, massive IoT, or you can say massive MTC, or you can say URLC. In both cases, I'm sure that will be ready before the industry start consuming these modules and functionalities in future. So I'm very positive that this whole open-end concepts overall is going in the right direction, and with time and with a proper, you can say, promotions within the industry. This is going to scale in 2022, 23 will be time where it will go in masses. This is what I feel the world is going towards.